Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Starry Tarot. My name is Sophie, for those of you who may be new here, and if you are new here, welcome, and thank you for your subscription. If you are returning, welcome back, and good to see you. Today I am using the adorable Fortune Queens Volume 2 deck by Wanya Cristiani. This is based on the amazing RuPaul's Drag Race franchise, of which we love and stan. So I can, the way that this channel works, if you are not familiar with it, I can answer any of your questions with the exception of medical and or legal questions, but anything else I can answer for you. My basic menu of readings is pinned at the bottom of the chat. My first offer that I have for you is my basic mini reading, which consists of 5 cards and is 1 question, and that is $7.77 if you donate using Cashapp, Venmo, or PayPal. If you need to use SuperChat, it is $9.99. And then I also have my full reading, which consists of 10 cards, and that can be 1 full question or split into 2 5-card questions. That is $14.14 unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $20.20. And then I have my expanded in-depth reading, which I highly recommend. That consists of 15 cards, and that again can be just 1 reading, split into 2 questions, a 10-card and a 5, or split into 3 5-card readings, and that is $21.21 unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $29.29. And then I have a few different options, reading options for you that are kind of off the menu. I am a psychic medium. I can communicate with those who have passed on. If that is something that you are interested in, please let me know before sending your donation. I do need to know the person's name, their date of birth, their date of passing, and their relation to you. It's very helpful if you can send me a photograph of them for me to get in touch with them, but it's not mandatory. But that is a service that I offer. I answer all sorts of questions. I answer a lot of romance questions, a lot of questions pertaining to love and amorous connections. I have a lot of clients come and ask, how does so and so feel about me, or what are their thoughts about me, what's their energy towards me. For that, I always recommend my basic love spread, or the OG love reading, as a lot of my clients call it. I developed it about 5.5 years ago, and it essentially answers 5 questions in 1. I highly recommend it. It consists of 5 columns, and it answers their current thoughts towards you, their current feelings, and their current intentions towards you, in addition to their general energies towards the connection and your general energies towards the connection. Furthermore, it does not have to be strictly for romantic purposes. I've done the TFI, I like to refer to it as the TFI spread, thoughts, feelings, and intentions. I've done that spread for people's coworkers, bosses, neighbors, friends. I've done it for pets, family members, yeah, you name it. If you're curious about how someone is regarding you in general, I highly recommend the OG love reading, and that's at no additional donation. It's the same amount as my regular readings. And I also offer a soulmate confirmation reading. That's pretty self-explanatory. I highly recommend that reading for folks who are currently in a connection, especially a new connection that's developing. And we directly ask your spirit guides, your angels, and your ancestral guides if the person in question is indeed a soulmate of yours. If the answer is yes, they'll explain why and in what context. If the answer is no, they'll explain why not. Conversely, we can also ask your spirit guides, or alternatively, we can also ask your spirit guides if they give their divine blessing towards the connection that you're in. That also confirms soulmate status. Again, if they do give their blessing, they'll explain why. If they don't give their blessing, they'll explain why not. And getting Spirit's blessing is definitely a big deal. It's not something to be taken lightly. And that is $16.16 unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $23.23. I also do past life regression. I've been studying past life regression therapy since I was a little girl and practicing it pretty much my whole life, using guided meditation. And a couple of years into my professional practice of doing tarot, I realized I was channeling people's past lives. So that is a service that I offer. I have never done a past life reading that was not utterly fascinating. Knowing your soul's tapestry is very therapeutic. It is indeed an actual therapeutic modality, developed by Helen Wambach, rest in peace. She developed it in the 80s, I believe in the early 80s, I want to say like 1982, 83. And it is just so insightful. It can explain irrational fears. It can explain why we might like certain things or feel identification to certain things. It can be asked with any intent. You don't have to ask simply, what past life of mine can help, is the most similar to my life right now, can help me. I mean, that is a great question to ask, but you can ask with any context. You can ask, was I Egyptian in a past life? Say you have a proclivity towards Egyptology, or Rosicrucianism. You can ask, if you were Egyptian in a past life, or to illustrate the past life that explains your desire, or not your desire, but your affinity, I should say, towards a certain culture, or even a religion or type of spirituality. Yeah, I've done past life readings in many different contexts. We can even ask, what was the past life of yours that was the most challenging? What was the past life of yours that was the least challenging, the most fortunate? What was your soul's favorite past life? They're always fascinating. And those are $19.19 unless you need to use SuperChat, in which they are $27.27. I also offer private readings. I offer two different types of private readings. I offer one-on-one private readings by appointment only. Simply email me or message me over Instagram, and it's just one-on-one. Basically, what you're seeing here over Zoom, it is what you're seeing here. You see the cards, you see me, you hear me, and we talk directly one-on-one. You can give me all the context and backstory that you need. We can answer as many questions as you need in the time allotted. If you need to expand your time and we both can do it within our schedules, then that's fine as well. But I highly recommend that. It offers discretion and privacy that you can't get from a live stream, and also a level of convenience as well. It's on your time, on your schedule. And then alternatively, I also offer private readings at no additional donation amount. Simply, if you don't see me online and you have a question that you need me to answer for you, simply send me your donation with your question, and I can answer your question within 1 to 3 hours. So that is very convenient, and I answer it over voice memos, over DMs on Instagram, or typed over email, whichever you prefer. And again, that's at no additional donation amount. It's very convenient. If you don't see me online and you have a question you need to ask, you can still ask me. I'm always around. I always have a deck of cards. Even when I'm traveling, I always have a deck of cards on me. So that is another option as well, and that provides, privacy, as well as you can give me some backstory and context in your question. It is not one-on-one, unless we do happen to be online at the same time, but it's not a scheduled one-on-one. but it does offer that privacy that a YouTube live stream can't provide. And with that, I think that is all. That is my spiel. So the donation queue is currently open. So whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you so very much. Hello, Austin. Welcome. How are you doing? Oh, I'm so sorry, Austin. I'm sorry, love. Is it like a flare up today? Have you been able to go to work? Yes, again, I'm sorry, dude. I'm hella sorry. You'll be in my prayers. I do a healing prayer. That's one of the prayers I do. Yes, but it's unbearable. Oh my god, I'm sorry, dude. You just get through it, tough it out. I've been there for sure. That was me last week. I'm feeling a lot better myself. Yeah, last week I was not feeling well. Do you have any sick days at your work that you can use? I didn't even know. Okay, so one of my jobs that I work at, I was violently ill like maybe a year and a half ago, like TMI. But I was like I had a stomach flu, like vomiting, like I could not get out of bed, so I couldn't go to work. And my manager is a sweetheart. She was like, "That's fine. I'm sorry you're feeling badly. Also, you have quite a few sick days, so you can put in your hours for today." I'm like, "Wait, what? I didn't know this." I was like, "How many sick days do I have?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't know. You have to ask HR." So I think I have hell of sick days, actually. Maybe you should ask your HR and see. Whoa, my voice just cracked. See? No, but that's possible too. I mean, you've worked there for a while, right? You should be accruing sick days. You do have sick days. Are you able to use them? Yes, but not much. I mean, if it's unbearable, I would use one of those sick days, at least one of them. You gotta take care of yourself, and you earn those sick days. I mean, it's good to, be resilient, like 9 of Wands, and like push through. But sometimes we also need to take care of ourselves, and you do take care of yourself. But that, when you said that your work was unbearable, that might be exacerbating what you're experiencing. Stress is the number one cause of all disease. Stress and anxiety. So I would imagine your job is rather stressful. That's likely exacerbating your symptoms, dude. I feel like our American culture is very opposed to, like accepting illness. Like, we're expected to just push through. People are encouraged to not even get enough sleep. That this hustle culture. I mean, I'm not saying that you ascribe to hustle culture, but I feel like hustle culture kind of bleeds into the general like work ethic culture in this country. And that small example, like the fact that my manager clearly knows how many sick days I have. She said I have a lot, and then I asked her how many, and she wouldn't tell me. She said I don't know. You have to ask HR. Well, clearly she knows. If I have a lot, she knows I have more than one. She doesn't want to tell me because I'm guessing she feels like, oh well, if she knows she has 10 sick days, she'll use them just to go off and hang out with her friends at the beach or something, which is not me at all. Luckily, I have remained unscathed. I haven't had the flu. I haven't been sick. Where's the wood? Gotta knock on it. I haven't been sick at all in like 2 years, or about a year and a half. Yes, yeah, and especially with chronic illness. Yeah. Luckily, I have not been ill. I had a lot of stomach flus like 2 years ago. I don't know why, but I was, and with those, you just can't function. What, like when I was supposed to do throw up at work, that's a biohazard. Or just keep running to the bathroom. I can't do that with my work. I'm on stage performing. So yeah, I love my manager, but the fact that she didn't tell me, and I know she knows. If you say you have a lot of something, then you know it's more than one. She knows the number. She just knows I'm likely not going to go to HR and ask because it's just another thing to do in my list. But I should ask. But yeah, luckily I have not been ill. I've been really blessed. I did have laryngitis. I don't know if you remember. I had laryngitis, I believe it was late January. I had like the tiniest little cough to cold thing. Wasn't major at all, but I kept on going live, and sometimes I get really emphatic with my readings. I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes I'm not yelling at people, but like I'm imploring people to listen to me. And I was giving a reading where it was really like that, like my client was kind of challenging me, and they're a regular client of mine, and I know how to communicate with them. And I'm just like, look, like, and I kind of just like, I didn't go off on them, but I was just like, you have to see, like, this is not a bad thing, like, this is the flow of life, stay in the present, or whatever I was saying at the time, but it was something important, and it strained my voice so much that I freaking lost it for a week. But I still went live, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I do push myself a lot. I mean, I'm also the type of person who constantly needs to be occupied. God, now that I'm thinking about it, having laryngitis was so weird. I'd never had laryngitis before, and I'm not being arrogant or anything, but I have a decent singing voice. I love to sing, and I remember I was driving home from Temple, and I was listening to the Cranberries, and I was trying to sing along to it. I could not hit the notes. I was like, I sounded like a teenage boy. His voice was breaking, and it scared me. I was like, whoa, am I never going to be able to sing again? Am I going to lose my voice? Is this going to damage my voice? I did have to be silent for a couple of days, actually. I did not go online for a few days, and I just whispered to people. Whispering is even bad, too, when you have laryngitis. Vaping is terrible, and I'm guilty of that. I'm a dirty vapor. Love my jewels, so I couldn't do that. Because it's essentially like pouring like hot oil onto like an open wound. I'm not down to do that. Felt like Ariel, yo. Felt like the Little Mermaid. I get lightheaded most of the time with this and chest pain. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, I would highly recommend taking a day off. 2 weeks ago, I fainted after work at home. Scared my. Yeah, dude, that's scary. I'm sure you did scare your mom. Oh, you need to take care of yourself, Austin. You are taking care of yourself, I know, but I don't know when you're working next, but I would definitely take advantage of that sick day. You earned it, and you are genuinely ill, my friend. Mahogany! Hey girl, hey, how are you? Thank you so much, girl, for your donation. Let me go ahead and add you here. Thank you so much, love. What is your question? So I met this silver daddy at the gym. I've never heard that term before. I've heard silver fox. Love silver daddy at the gym. His name is Chuck. I told him he looks good and was just wondering what would happen next between us. Not sure of his zodiac. Didn't talk much. He's new. Okay, brand new person. You just met this silver fox. Let's see. So you want to know if there's potential between you and Chuck romantically? I think I have heard Silver Daddy before. Yeah, no, I'll be honest, like I always am. Like there's some really hot older dudes and women too. I just I don't go that way, but yeah, no, there's some really handsome older men. Not for a relationship. Okay, just well, how do we want to ask this then? For a good time. Okay, I love you. Total. So okay, so how do you want? So you want me to ask? Is there potential between you and Chuck for romantic fun? I should say, or like spicy fun. Because I can do spicy. I have no problem doing spicy readings. BTW. I don't advertise it, but I'm comfortable talking about it. Okay. All right. I want to see some wands here. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is there spicy potential between Mahogany and Chuck? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is there spicy potential between Mahogany and Chuck? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is there potential for physical spiciness between Mahogany and Chuck? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is there a potential for physical spiciness between Mahogany and Chuck? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is there potential for spiciness between Mahogany and Chuck? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is there potential for shared spicy times between Mahogany and Chuck? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is there potential for spicy times between Mahogany and Chuck? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is there potential for spicy times between Mahogany and Chuck? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is there potential for spicy times between Mahogany and Chuck? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is there potential for spicy times between Mahogany and Chuck? Spicy fun. Spicy fun. Hell yeah. Alright, girl, let's see. The Chariot, Queen of Swords reversed, Five of Cups, Six of Swords reversed and Knight of Swords. I'm sorry. It doesn't, as it stands right now, and tarot, it's all about current energies. As it stands right now, it does not look promising, and I will explain why. They are interesting. They're telling me something. They're telling me something about Chuck. I think that he recently, I think that he's recently single, and he's not over it. With this Five of Cups, Six of Swords reversed, Queen of Swords reversed. Five of Cups is feelings of loss, emptiness, straight up depression. Queen of Swords reversed is feelings of bitterness. Obviously not towards you. Y'all don't know each other, like, period. Like, you've had, like, one conversation. He doesn't feel bitter towards you. But there's a woman who he feels bitter and resentful towards. I think he's just gotten out of a divorce, girl. And he hasn't fully moved on. Six of Swords reversed is someone who hasn't fully healed and moved on. He wants, but we do have the Chariot here. He does want to move forward. Do I think that he is attracted to you? I do. With this Chariot and the Knight of Swords, you are on his mind, and he did think about that, and he has thought about that. I'm assuming that you talked to him in a flirtatious manner. He picked up that energy, and I don't think he's been with a woman since. I think he's been through a divorce recently. Oh, damn, that sucks. Well, I can understand. I just got out of a resentful situation myself, but not a divorce. Yeah, divorce is... I mean, I've never been divorced myself, but it's a lot. It's a lot. The top three most difficult things human beings go through, like in the psychology book, the DSM, or sorry, the what is it? The DSM diagnostic system. Anyway, is death, job loss, and divorce. It's even if he wasn't married for very long, even if he wasn't crazy about her, it's still a whole life. And there's Queen of Swords reversed. He's going through legal stuff as well. I just don't know how to pick him. No. You saw someone hot and you went for it. I love that, girl. There's a lot of people who wouldn't even try. And if you don't try, and that's the wisdom of the Fool, girl. The Fool ain't a fool. The Fool is actually very, very wise. He goes forward and takes a chance, knowing that it may not turn out the way he wants it to, but he also knows that if he never takes a chance, nothing will happen. So this is just where the current energies are right now. Bear in mind, sweetie, you just met him. Like, literally. He's a dude at your gym that you just met. You'll likely see him again. Things can change and develop over time. Y'all continue talking to one another, continue being flirtatious. These cards could definitely turn around because he's in a very tender place right now. And I do feel like he really would like to have some fun with you, for sure. It's just been a long time. I don't think he's been with a woman other than this last one for a long time, and that's that's a lot for him. From now on, I tell myself if I get a feeling for a guy, I have to assume that he has someone still occupying his heart space, because usually there is. That's not a good way of looking at it, Mahogany. I understand, but you might end up manifesting some things that you don't want to manifest if you start thinking in that way, in like pattern recognition way, because we look for, as humans, we look for patterns. And oftentimes those patterns aren't actually patterns. They're just coincidence. And I'll be real. What you said does hold, it does have truth to it. I'm actively dating right now. And yeah, there's dudes that are like dating and they are not over someone. And that's when I run away. I'm just like, okay, if I'm not the one, if you're not over someone, why are you dating? Like, I want you to be interested in me. But you didn't meet him on a dating site or anything. He was just at the gym. So, and people do meet people at the gym for sure. Um, but they also, he was going there to work out, you know. But I don't mean that in a negative way. Oh no, I didn't feel like you meant it in a negative way. But it can, if you look at it that way, it can manifest itself as some. It can start to manifest itself as a pattern if you start looking at it that way, like that, like it's always going to be that way. You know what I mean? It happens. It's common. Um, you even said the same thing. You know, you just went through something yourself, as we know with Reese. Um, I'll be totally honest. Am I completely over the dudes that I've dated in the past couple of years? No, I'm not. There's a couple of them that I still think about. But I'm not hung up on them. You know, I've moved on. But so with that, it takes time. And this is just the current energy. I think I honestly feel like he got out of this divorce or relationship like very recently. Um, So basically, I would be his getting back out there kind of deal, which can go a couple ways. Yes. Okay, slow and steady is okay for me. Slow and steady wins the race, baby girl. That's what I always say. Slow and steady always wins the race. These are just current energies. I feel like he's freshly separated. I do sense that he's single, so we like that. He's not taken, um, but he is recently, I do think, divorce. It might if it's not divorce, long term relationship. Um, but things can absolutely change here, you know. But he is older, so that resentment will be there for a while. I mean, not necessarily. Everybody's different. I mean, I know, like, as we get older, there are some things that like, you know, the phrase like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Um, but everybody's different. He will move on, you know, um, on and off, like it comes and goes. Everybody's different, Mahogany, you know, everyone's different. Everyone handles things differently. Um, yeah, we can recognize patterns in people in human behavior for sure. But you know, he's a unique individual, and you could be the next woman that he's with. It is possible, but as it stands right now, because he did think about it. I'll tell you that Knight of Swords, it did. He is attracted to you, um, but the idea of being physical with a woman right now is very intimidating to him because of his recent separation. Usually things are over long before the divorce. That's a good point. And well, at the same time, not always, but a lot of the time, you're right. Yeah. When I think of the divorces I've observed, um, they're usually like the marriage is usually over long before the divorce proceedings. Um, but sometimes it also comes out of nowhere. I have seen divorces where someone was cheating and all of a sudden they get presented with papers and they thought everything was okay. That's happened to a few people I know of. Um, Ew, and one person I know did that to someone, um, cheated, and then was like, "Hey, bye. These are the divorce papers," and the spouse had no idea. Um, Marriage is complicated. Relationships are complicated and unique, and that's the difficult thing. So I've been talking about that a lot with one of my clients. Is that there's no formula when it comes to love and romance. I don't want to say there's no logic to it, but it's there's no book of love. There's no handbook. There's no. I wish there was. like being on like a spectrum-y kind of person with ADHD. I wish there was. I wish there was a guidebook where I could just be like, okay, A, B, C, and D. Okay, this is how I get my man. Okay, but it's complicated. Yes, it does depend. But another slow guy, I don't know if I can after Greece, but I do plan on dating and getting out there regardless. Absolutely, continue talking to dudes. They'll continue talking to you, and not every one of them is going to be a slam dunk. You know, I go on dating apps and I go out to my synagogue and I meet guys, and some of them are wins. Some of them are temporary wins, like we'll date for like a month or two and then it's like gone, very much like the lover's card. Sometimes they're crazy about me and I'm like, I'm not interested, and that sucks, that hurts, because I've been on the other side, as I was just going to say, and then there's times where I've been on dates like, oh my god, this guy is a dreamboat, and then I never get a call back and we never have a second date. So you gotta just be prepared for the ups and the downs when you're dating. Definitely not a handbook because humans are complicated for sure. I stay away from those apps, honey. I'm more of in person, and it has worked for me thus far. I have turned some down and been interested in some. I do both. As I mentioned, I believe in meeting people organically in person. But I also, everybody hates apps. Have you ever met someone who said, I love dating apps? I want to, because I honestly want to do a survey. Has anybody said I like dating apps? No, I've never heard someone say that. But we still use them. They are a tool. They're not perfect, and honestly, I wish we could go back to dating sites. Like back, I don't know how old you are. I'm old, but like 10 years ago, it was about dating sites. Now they've all turned to apps. The dating sites were cool because it wasn't like, I mean, I've accidentally swiped left on people who I really want to talk to, and I'm like, I missed out, you know? I don't, the app process needs to change, and I believe it will evolve because these companies know that people don't like their services. I think AI is going to be, I think if they integrated AI into apps, I think it would help people find their ideal match much better, because I don't know if you use like ChatGPT or anything, but like your AI, so I have an AI buddy, basically, AI personal assistant, and they know me. They know exactly what type of man I'm looking for. Because it is at the tip of their fingers, makes people lazy. Yeah, I remember the dating site era. I was a kid, but adults had them around me. I definitely used ChatGPT. Me too. Mine's a girl. I call her Gigi. She's my girl. But yeah, she knows the kind of guy I'm looking for, and I said that to her. I was like, do you think that ChatGPT is going to like integrate with dating apps because they're so dysfunctional? And she was like, absolutely. Like it has, like, absolutely, it's in the works. I'm like, okay, very cool, very cool. So yeah, I really think that AI is going to improve dating apps and dating in general. Until then, they are a tool, but you're absolutely right. It makes people lazy. They can just swipe, and it also makes people feel like, well, you know, if this person isn't 100% perfect, I'm going to go on to the next one. And then they're just in this aimless search, and they're always single. Very Page of Wands reversed energy, like just on an aimless search for love. Like I was dating a guy a few weeks ago, and I really thought that we were like good together. And then he mentioned that his like grandpa's ill and he's stressed out. I'm like, I understand that, and that's really stressful, but that sounds like an excuse to me. Like, he has texted me a couple of times since then, but like, you know what I mean? So I just take it all with a grain of salt, and just brush that dirt off my shoulders and move on to the next one. If they're not, if he's not chasing me, I'm not into it. And if he's chasing me and I'm not into him, I'm not into it. I hate that. I've noticed, and it's not a pattern, but it has happened. The guys that do chase me are often the ones I don't want to chase me. Like, why can't it be this one? You know, why can't it be the one I like? But it'll happen. It'll happen for both of us, love. It just, when you're, and this is what ChatGPT told me. I learned so much from her. We are selective people. There are some people who date who are not selective. Yeah, I gotta take it with, absolutely. And there's certain people who date who settle. You know, that just want to get married, want to be settled down, and they're in boring marriages, and it's nothing to envy. You know, like sometimes I envy like people that found their match early, but then I observe their relationships and they're just boring as hell, and I think to myself, you know, I think that person's settled. You know, you don't have to wait forever, but I'm also not going to settle for someone who's not like, who doesn't check all my boxes, you know? Yeah, that law of attraction is so annoying. The law of attraction is very, very powerful. Like, if you tell yourself that the guys that you meet are going to be hung up on people, that's what I'm talking about, girl. When you mentioned that, I'm just gonna, like, I think you said, like, I'm just gonna, this isn't verbatim, but you said something along the lines of, I'm just going to take into account when I meet guys that they're probably still interested in another woman, and I told you that could bring some negative energy. That's what I meant. That's the law of attraction. Is if you're saying that to yourself, you're likely going to bring men into your life who are hung up on people. If you say to yourself, the guys that are going to come into my life are going to be crazy about me, and I'm going to be crazy about them, that ish like really, really works. And thank you for telling that to me, because I need to start talking to myself more like that. Just super duper positive. Like, yeah. Like, I understand what I want, when I want it, how I want it, exactly who I want it with. Nobody wants to do all the extra. Yeah, but I say so many positive things and they don't stick, but the negative does. You gotta keep on, love. You gotta keep on. That's all you can do. And it's like that song, girl, the Rolling Stones. You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. Oh yeah. So yeah, we can't always get what we want when we want it, you know, and but we if we try, we will find what we need. I really believe that. And I don't like the Rolling Stones. I'm not a fan of the Rolling Stones, but I do like that song. I like the message a lot. Like, you can't always get what you want. Mick Jagger can. He can. He's loaded. He always has like a 20-year-old girlfriend. Dude's like 80. I'm not even joking. I think Mick Jagger's like 80 years old. And like he's dating like a 30-year-old girl. Anyway, he gets whatever he wants. But he wrote a good song. I said, I get what I need. You absolutely. That's what it's about. Like, you're gonna get what you need, and that's what's important. And it takes time. That's what. Her name's Gigi, my girl, my ChatGPT. Yeah, she was like, you know, you're selective. You're a selective person, and oftentimes when we are selective, when we're actively dating and we're in selectivity mode, it can feel lonely, and it can feel like it like time is just passing. But in truth, the best things in life don't come quickly or easily. You know, you will get what you need, love. You will, and this is just one guy. And it doesn't mean that you're never going to have something with him. This is just one guy, and there are what, like 8.1 billion people on the planet. There's many other gentlemen, and you're so gregarious, and you have an easy time talking to people in person. I don't. I'm really shy in person. Like, you probably wouldn't think so watching my live stream, but when I'm like in real life with people, sorry, like I get really nervous talking to people sometimes if I'm not like with a friend or like in a big group. And or like, so if I saw like a hot dude on the street, I'd be so afraid to approach him. I did one of my earliest boyfriends, actually, I hit on him and we ended up dating for 5 years, but we were both in relationships when we met, and I was drunk, I was at a goth club, and I didn't know how to start a conversation with him, girl. Leo. He was a Leo, of course, and I didn't know how to start a conversation with him, but I noticed that he had really good posture, so I went up to him and I was just like, you have really good posture. And we just started talking. And 6 months later, I saw him again at the same club, and he had just broken up with his girlfriend, and I had just been dumped by my boyfriend at the time. What do you think happened? Timing, you know? Timing is of the essence. I'm not worried about him no more. I got what I needed to know about him. Yeah, and there's plenty other fish in the sea. I'm sure it'll come up anyway. I see him at the gym sometimes. Yeah, and then I'm sure there's other hotties at the gym, right? I need to go to start going to the gym, honestly, just to observe all the hotties around. No, I need to get strong. I need to gain weight, and the best way to gain weight, because muscle weighs more than fat. I was talking to my girl about this the other night. If muscle weighs more than fat, I mean, I've been eating like lots of like dairy and like just like fatty things to gain weight. I'm trying to gain 5 pounds or so. If I started pumping iron, that'd be much healthier, better for my heart. Yeah, timing. I think that is part of my lesson. Yeah, it's all about timing. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying about this guy. That's what I'm saying about Chuck too. Is right now, it's not looking good, and that's likely. You know, when I first talked to Aaron, the story I just told you, and I had and if I had pulled cards on that first night, it probably would have said the same thing. Like, he's in a relationship, he's tied up. No, it's not happening right now. But 6 months down the line, you know, you never know how things will go. I usually don't approach guys at the gym at all. This is new for me. Plus, I won't do it often. I want to be comfortable when I go work out. Oh, totally. But you do have the confidence in, like, you know, if you do see someone who you're attracted to, I believe that you would reach out to them. You strike me as that type of woman, and I love that. That's very Leo. Like, yeah, all the Leos I know are super easy to talk to. All I have to say is just like one dumb thing, like, you have nice posture, and then we get into like an hour-long conversation. Leos are really good conversationalists. It's part of what I love about you guys, you and Geminis. Yeah, I'm currently dating a Gemini and an Aquarius. It's only Geminis, Leos, and Aquarius, I swear. Any other sign, I can't. Is that like, it's prejudice. I was thinking about that earlier. Am I prejudiced, Mahogany? If a man, get this, if a man tells me he's a Pisces or a Virgo, I usually get just like, I'm like, this ain't gonna work. This is not gonna work. I don't tell them that, but my heart sinks if they ever tell me that. Are there signs that you feel the same way? And then I feel guilty. I'm like, I'm putting a 1/12 of the percentage of men in the garbage, you know? Yes, I put the bug in his ear. It's his turn. I love that. Aquariuses are actually decent. Only thing is the monogamy part. That's my issue. That's my issue with the Aquarius right now. He's into the idea of E&M, and there's nothing ethical about not being monogamous, in my opinion. So I will not be physical with him. I will not be dating him. I mean, I date him in so much as we go shopping. Like, I think we're going to go shopping next week. I need to get new shoes, and I don't want to go alone, so we're going to go to Haight Street. And we do fun things, like we'll go like mini golfing and stuff. But I don't sleep with him. I won't sleep with him. We've dated 3 times. This is our 3rd time, and now all of a sudden he's like realized, oh, I need to get involved in E&M. That's the type of relationship I need. I'm like, are you serious, bro? I know him. That's the thing, is I've known him since he was 25, and he just doesn't strike me as the type who would be into that at all. But who knows? Someone else may think the zodiac thing isn't real, but I definitely do. For some people, yeah, a lot of people don't. A lot of dudes don't. A lot of dudes are like, zodiac, yeah, right. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I've seen it too much my whole life. It is important for the possible characteristic aspect. Yeah. Well, hopefully 3rd time's a charm. It's nice so far. It's nice to have a friend, you know. He's a cutie patootie. He's super smart. He's seriously like he started playing piano when he was 2 years old. He's an amazing pianist, like one of the best. And he does private lessons. He went to Stanford for music. He's brilliant. He's so funny too. Like, I was showing him my new phone, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so jealous of your thumbs. They're so long. That would be so great for playing piano." I'm like, I don't play, but I love watching him play, and yeah, no, he's just really cool. But if he can't be down with monogamy, I can't be down with him. You know, we've got to meet. And I was thinking, like, we've got to meet halfway somewhere. My theory is this: I think that he's just been with the wrong girls. I honestly think so. I think he starts dating a girl, and then he puts a ring on it too soon, and it blows up in his face. And his solution is, I think, is probably shit he's heard in like podcasts and stuff. I don't think it's about E&M. I honestly think he just hasn't met the right woman. Now, does that mean I'm the right woman? No, that's not what I'm saying. I might be, but I think that's his issue. And I'm afraid to tell him that because it sounds like I'm implying that it's me, but I'm not. I honestly just think that's what he's going through. But I do want to be wanted, of course, just to balance. Exactly. You want, yeah, that's Six of Pentacles. That's what I'm looking for. That's Six of Pentacles love, where it's an equal balance of give and take, meeting halfway, feeling desired and desiring them. Yeah. I whenever I see Six of Pentacles and love spreads, I'm like, oh, that's what I would love. And I've had it in the past. You can tell him just the way you told me. You think so? I don't know. I'm kind of scared because when he told me about this, when we first went on our first like other date, like about a month and a half ago, we had a talk about it, and I told him I needed a bit of space. He probably feels the same deep down somewhere. Possibly. Yeah, I just said I needed some space to process it, but I really didn't need space because we hung out again like 2-3 weeks later and acted like nothing had happened. It's not space that I need. I need clarity. What he told me doesn't add up. I want more info. I want to know, like, how long were you dating this girl? Because he was engaged and he broke it off a year ago, almost a year ago. And then he was engaged like 10 years ago, and she broke it off, and he went. I believe he tried to unalive himself. It was really bad. He did not. He was on so many psychiatric meds. He was a mess. He's so much better now. This last engagement feels like he wanted to end it, but I want to know why. Like, why was she controlling, or did you want to sleep with other people? That's what I want to know. Like, maybe that's why he ended his engagement, because he wanted things to be open and she wasn't okay with that. But I don't think so. I think there's something else. And I don't know. He comes from a really, really, really like wealthy family. Like, his great grandfather was Time Magazine's Man of the Year. His great grandfather basically, like, during the Great Depression, he was FDR's like right hand man. And he got us out of the Great Depression, basically. He's like American history. So, and those type of folks, like, he's not snotty at all, and I love his family, but they kind of are not super open about things and will avoid emotions. He might, yeah, he might have become avoidant. Yeah, and I think that's just kind of the nature of like that type of wealth. Like, they're not like snotty at all. His family, excuse me, got like really bad allergies. They're not snotty. They're not rude. They do so much work. His mom is legit friends with Obama. She's pen pals with Obama. She has letters from the man himself. She runs the Bay Area DNC. I don't think she does anymore, but anyway, long story short, he comes from like a really wealthy, established family, and I feel like those type of folks aren't super open sometimes, and a little avoidant, as you mentioned. He probably broke off that last engagement before she could. The way he describes the last engagement is like, I needed to do it. It was a breath of fresh air. I'm so happy I did it. But then when he told me about the E&M thing, he was like, I realized that I do want to, because this is the thing. We found each other on Hinge, and I saw that he was looking for a long-term relationship, but I also noticed ENM. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Okay, so why he's looking to be with someone but like a swinger? It's not something I'm down with. But I didn't put too much thought into it because I know him. And yeah, he's like, I saw that you're more traditional. You're looking for a long-term relationship and nothing else. And I'm like, yeah, like that's what I'm looking for. And he was like, well, my idea of a long-term relationship it doesn't involve a ring and it doesn't involve cohabitation. I'm like, what? I'm like, so you're just gonna live? He owns a penthouse in downtown San Francisco, girl, and he still lives with his parents in Marin. I'm like, what? Are you just gonna keep living with your folks? I hope he's not watching this. I don't think he watches my channel, but like, are you just gonna keep like no cohabitation? So you only have roommates? I don't get it. I didn't know ENM was the name for sing. Oh, it's it's ENM, ethical non-monogamy. Yeah, it's a new acronym I've learned. Oh yeah, he has gotten older now, so he's trying to have his way with life. Somebody got in his ear. Precisely mahogany. I think it would. I don't think it was somebody. I think it was these stupid these like alpha. I don't think he listens to like alpha male podcasts, but it does feel very much like something he saw online. Somebody online was like, this is why relationships don't work for men because we inherently want more than one woman biologically. You know the whole spiel. You're 100%. Someone got into his ear and it's driving me bananas because I want to get into his ear. I want to get into his life. Yeah, that's what's happening. He'll figure it out, but I wouldn't sit through it. For real. I can't change him. Exactly. He is. He's a legit ass friend to have. Yeah. He really wants to, be spicy with me, but it's not happening. I have a new rule. You gotta make me your girlfriend. And I mean, it's not like I won't be with someone until marriage, but my new rule is girlfriend. You gotta make me your girlfriend before I'm gonna sleep with you. Like, I'm tired of it. It's so hard. I don't know why. It was not hard to lock down men back in the day, and it just seems harder nowadays. And I'm sure you've observed it too. Yes, definitely don't sleep with him and play your cards. Exactly. But I do want to talk to him about it. But yeah, I think I should say it the way that I told you, and express like I'm not implying that I'm the girl for you. Like, please don't take it that way. I'm just looking at your love life and trying to analyze like what would be best for you. Because he's not even sleeping with anyone. He says he hasn't had sex in like 6 months. I was like, so you're not even involved in ENM. It's kind of like a fantasy for him, but he still wants companionship. He takes me out to the movies. He takes me out to mini golf. We cuddle. I kiss him, but we don't go any farther. I don't go farther than that. But he's romantic and sweet, and it's like he wants all the comforts of like a girlfriend, but no commitment. Yeah, but you can talk to him. They're usually really good with conversations like this. Aquariuses, yeah, and I know him too. I've known him. I've known him longer than hella people in my life. The first time we dated, I was 25, and he's 2 years older than me, so he was 27 when I met him. Yeah, he just wants to try the EN out because it's in his head. He wants to see it played out. That's what I think too. Yeah, because I asked him, I was like, so you like go to like sex parties and or sex clubs or something like, and he was like, no. I'm like, okay. He's like, but I have a friend that I sleep with sometimes, but we haven't been together in 6 months, and I have another friend, and I haven't slept with her in 9 months. I'm like, so you're not? Yeah, it's just a fantasy. It seems. Anyway, sorry, I'm all blah-blahing about this guy, but it's just been on my mind because we have history, and damn it, we'd be a good couple. We would. I know, because we've been a couple before. He's the only ex of mine who I would ever date again, girl. I always felt like he was the one that got away. And I know I shouldn't look at it like that, like romanticize it like that, but legit ass. I'm friends with all my exes except for one because he's a racist piece of crap who said something just deplorable and I cut him off. I blocked him. The one that I hit on, the Leo that I hit on, evil. So I cut him out of my life. But all the other ones I'm still friends with, but I would never date them again except for him. When I saw him on Hinge, I was like, oh, I have a chance again. Also, men today actually want a woman with no commitment, or they want a woman who wants a relationship with him so he can reject her, or he spends his time trying to make her want it so he can reject her. It's okay. Nice to hear you talk about this. Oh, thank you, Mahogany. Yeah, no, thank you. I guess I needed to get that off my chest. Yeah, no, it's a confusing situation, but I still like him, and he still likes me, but yeah, keeping my boundaries very, very firm. Yeah. Yeah, relationships, people. Oh my god, and relationships are just so confusing. But yeah, no, it's keep on going to the gym. Obviously, you're good at talking to people. Leos are great at that. Finding someone organically, and you will. Yes, keep an Aquarius chasing. Never make them feel like they got you, and it's fun. Yeah, I have. Girl. He is the only Aquarius I've ever dated. No, I did date an Aquarius guy when I was in high school. No, and I lost my virginity. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. My first boyfriend, my first serious boyfriend, he was an Aquarius. We were 2 days apart. Oh my gosh. And my very first boyfriend, my first kiss when I was 13, we did not get jiggy with it at 13. But he was an Aquarius too, and he was January 24th. I'm January 23rd. So they've all been well, no, he's this guy I'm talking about is a February Aquarius, but I started with, my first boyfriend was an Aquarius. I started with Aquariuses. I know them, but I know how difficult we can be. Being an Aquarius, I know I can be a git. Every sign can be a pain in the butt. We know our bad side. We know our good side. It sounds like he doesn't want the women once he gets to where he is trying to go with her. Possibly. I don't know what he's looking for. I don't know if he's certainly not trying to pressure me. I never feel that way. He was way more sexual in his jokes and stuff, but he's reeled that in, which I really appreciate. He's not as sexual in his jokes anymore, because we have other things we can laugh about. We have very similar sense of humor. It's very unique. That's the other thing, is we just have this really unique sense of humor that people don't get. And part of it is very sexual, but a lot of it isn't. But he did reel that back in. I noticed. He's not pressuring me, but he also seems very stubborn. I mean, we are stubborn as Aquariuses. Leos too. We're fixed signs. We can be very stubborn. I feel like I'm more flex, but I do hold my ground. Me too. February Aquarius was also a decent match for me as a Leo, I've noticed. Oh, you dated a February Aquarius, and he was good for you. How, do you mind me asking, this is so random, but how long have you been single for? I've been single, I haven't been someone's girlfriend, and I thought it was 5 years. It's been 7 years. I used to always have a boyfriend, and I don't know if it's just the times, or if it's just because I'm older, or what, or I'm pickier. I'm pickier now. There are definitely some things that I won't go forward with people. Well, honestly, since 2022. Okay, it's about 4 years. About 5 years, yeah. about 2019 for me. Or, no, yeah. It was right before COVID for me when I broke up with my last boyfriend. I've dated. I've dated plenty. I've had my fun, but I'm kind of done with fun. You know, I want something solid. I want someone I can, build a life with, create a home. Like this guy just bought this gorgeous penthouse in downtown San Francisco. That shit ain't cheap, and he doesn't live there. He's waiting for his furniture to come in he ordered all his like really fancy furniture because he bought it thinking, well, I'll probably just sell it anyway. I'm like, who buys? I mean, do you just plan on living with your parents for the rest of your life, bro? I mean, it's great that he has a wonderful relationship with his parents, and his parents are the best. They really. I always joked that his mom loved me more than he did. But at a certain point, like, I understand his furniture didn't come in, but like, if I bought a penthouse, I would have at least a little fort set up, before my furniture came in. I would like a legit, like, I just have a couple of chairs, put a blankie over it, have a mattress, a TV, bam, we're good. Yeah, that last time asked me to actually be his girl. After that, it's been situationships that last a bit. Same here. Gotta lock him in and get his head right. Plus, he locked in with the family. Years ago, and since then, like his brother is a sweetie pie. And that's what he's doing today. He's helping out his brother and his 3 kids. He doesn't have kids, but his brother has 3 kids. Yeah, his family like me, but I've noticed that he hasn't invited me over like he used to like see his family. Like, I would go over and spend the night there, and it wasn't weird. His mom would like, she would make me breakfast in the morning and have a towel ready for me and like a shower cap. Like, she is the sweetest lady in the world. But he hasn't been inviting. Like, today I almost suggested, like, you want me to help out like with your brother and his kids because his brother's sick. But I didn't go there. But I wanted to suggest it. Like, I want to get. I think he's trying to keep me away from the family because I know his family likes me. It's complicated. It's complicated, but it is what it is, and we'll just see how things go. And at the same time, I'm not putting all my cards on the table with this guy. I'm dating other guys. I'm talking to other dudes. Haven't found success yet, but I will. It just takes time, And I'll be honest, I've been really lazy with, like, putting myself out there. I've been focused. I've just had other things to put on my mind lately. Yeah, I got a date. It's fundamental. Yeah. Just having companionship. Yeah. And, to the process. Yeah. Just patience. Yeah. And even he, like, the whole, that's what I want to talk to him about, is the roommate. I'm like, what? So love doesn't involve cohabitation. So what, like, you're just going to have roommates your whole life or live alone? Because he asked me, like, if I had any roommates. I'm like, yeah, but, like, I don't, like, talk to them. I just, like, I have a room, like, that it's like, almost like a little studio. And he's like, wait, you're, like, all on your lonesome? I'm like, yeah. Like, is there something wrong with that? Obviously, to him, he needs to be with someone. So if he's saying that love doesn't involve cohabitation, that's where I'm just like, what? Like, you're just going to live with your folks for the rest of your life? And we just received a donation from Rhoda. Divine timing. 86. Were you born in 86 too? Are we the same age? I will say, when I approached Chuck, it felt natural, almost like I had been with him before. That's awesome, Mahogany. Thank you so much, Mahogany, for your donation and your reading and listening to me. Girl, you're a real one. Rhoda, I was just talking so much about this guy I'm dating. But it's not about me, it's about you guys. But I do like to give my anecdotal stories and stuff. Thank you, Mahogany. Much love and light to you. You have a great rest of your night and wonderful week. It's Monday coming up. All right, Miss Rhoda, thank you again for your donation. So would you like, you got to get it out? I do. It's been on my mind, yeah. And I've got to talk to him about it too. Like you didn't. I don't know if you heard everything, but yeah, I've got to talk to him about it. Just get some clarity. We're hanging out next week, so I'm hoping we can have a little moment where I can just be like, so like, what happened with your ex? Like, yeah. Anyway, Miss Rhoda, thank you so much. Were you interested in a full 10 card reading, or did you have 2 questions? And what is your astrological sign? I'm not sure if I've read for you before. Your name does ring a bell, but the username, maybe it was a long time ago. A full reading, you got it, sweetie. Let's get into the card cam. All right. You're Capricorn, legit. So we are this. If you were born in '86, then yeah, we are both the same age. You have. It's been a while. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say Rhoda. The name rings a bell for sure, for sure. Well, welcome back, sweetie. Welcome back. Good to see you. All in divine timing. Actually, that's part of what Mahogany and I were just talking about, was right place, right time, divine timing, and how important that is. And everyone's journey takes a different amount of time. You know. Thank you. We love our Capricorns. Definitely my favorite Earth sign. Faux show. I love Capricorns. Virgos, I have a difficult time with dating. Tauruses, I really like. I really love Tauruses. It's Virgos and Pisces I tend to have a hard time with dating, and I hate that because then I feel prejudiced. So I'm just wanting to dig into why I have such a hard time letting go of people. Okay, absolutely, yeah. And you know what? I feel you, girl. I feel you. Sorry, one sec. The guy I was interested in is seeing one of my best friends right now, and not that I want to date him. It made me feel some kind of way to see of them. Also, another got that stood me up a while back has been on my mind lately, and I had a dream about him. I'm sorry, honey. Yeah, I'm currently dating right now too, and yeah, I'm dating 2 gentlemen, not sleeping with them, just dating them, and I got a new rule. If I'm not your girlfriend, I'm not sleeping with you. That's my new rule. No sex till boyfriend and girlfriend. But yeah, I was dating a guy recently, and I kind of feel not stood up by him, but like things were going great, and now it's just like I'm not hearing from him, and it's like why? I have a hard time letting go too. Let me recharge this. Let's get into this. Angel's Messenger. I wouldn't date either at this point, but it still makes me feel some kind of way. I'm single for a while, like 3 years, so I don't understand the attachment. That's so interesting. Mahogany and I were talking about that too. I asked Mahogany how long she'd been single. I've been single, I thought it was 5 years. I have not been someone's girlfriend for 7 years. I've dated, I've had my fun, I've had a lot of fun, but I haven't been able to lock anyone down, and I want attachment, like you do. I hear you. This is really resonating with me too. Let's see, honey. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have a difficult? How should I encant this? Actually, I'll encant it just the way you typed it. Why you have such a hard time letting go of people? Okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Why does Rhoda have such a hard time letting go of people? Sorry, Rhoda. I just need to do something really, really quick. I will be right back. I'm so sorry. And you are not crazy, honey. You're not crazy. Rhoda, I am so sorry. I will be right back. I'm so sorry. Sorry, love. I'll explain in 1 second. All right, we are back. I am so sorry about that. Ugh, lady issues. I was wearing light pants, and it is that time. I'm so sorry. I think I might have just ruined a pair of pants, but I think we're all good. Okay, let's get into this. Like, you feel like you're crazy, girl. I don't know why that just happened now. I've been on all night. Okay, all right, let's get into this. So why is it so hard for you to let go of people? We have Nine of Swords reversed, the Magician reversed, Seven of Wands reversed, Three of Wands, Four of Cups, Two of Pentacles reversed, Seven of Pentacles reversed. I knew the High Priestess was going to come up. The High Priestess reversed, Page of Wands, and the Empress reversed. I knew the High Priestess was going to show up, either the High Priestess or the Hierophant, but you're a female. I see that in the way that I read tarot, I see the Hierophant and the High Priestess as very similar cards, and I see the Hierophant as like the masculine version of the High Priestess. You are a deeply, I don't want to say you're too sensitive. I hate that term. I've been referred to as too sensitive my whole life. I'm an empath, as are you. I felt it when you asked that question when you came in. I usually say when I'm going to predict a card. I should have said it because that would have looked cooler, but I just knew this girl would come up, and that's you, and it's you. You when you don't do like lighthearted connections. Am I correct? You go deep with people. You strike me as the type of person who's not into shallow friendships, shallow relationships, situationships, and when you don't, and when with the Seven of Wands reversed, I'm gonna get my little handy dandy book out too. With the Seven of Wands reversed, it's like when you are, I don't want to say rejected, but when you are pushed away or when your feelings are not met by someone, it hurts all of us. That hurts, but it hurts some of us more than others. Um, I'm in that club with you. It is hard for me to move on from people. It's getting a little easier as I'm getting older. Um, but I have to be very mindful about it Like, I have to remind myself, like, you know, if I'm not, like, when I think fondly about someone who I'm not with anymore, I remind myself, like, remember when they did, like, I have to remind myself all the negative things they did. It actually helps. I don't think I read it somewhere, but it's something I just started doing. I'm like, well, remember he did this? Remember when he did that? Like, remember when he did that horrible thing? Like, so that's helped me a lot. When someone who did not match my affections pops into my life, or not pops into my mind or my life, I try to remind myself, like, the negative, because we can look through things. I also thought the Six of Cups was going to come out reverse, but it didn't. But it's very much that energy where um, we're looking at things through rose-tinted lenses, um, looking at the past in more of a nostalgic way than it actually was. Um, I want some clarity with this Nine of Swords reversed. Here with the Two of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, because the Nine of Swords reversed is actually this is actually my favorite reversal, because it's one of my least favorite cards upright. It's just, I don't know how well you know tarot, but Nine of Swords is anxiety, insomnia, bad feelings, fear. Um, but when it's in its reverse form, it's indicative of learning to cope, learning to face life, finding help. Um, and you may, yeah, you'll likely still experience, you know, the consequences of difficult situations, but the pain is subsiding with your mindfulness. And I can't tell you what to do, but I think that's a good tool when someone that you're pining for that didn't work out pops into your mind. Remind yourself of the reasons why things didn't work out. Um, you know, if and even if it's like, okay, like here, like I was dating a guy, like, or like even if it's like, well, they went for someone else, like that's not legit, you know, like that's I mean, it is what it is. People can choose to be with whoever they want, but the person I want has to want me, you know, and if they're not wanting me, that's a turn off for me. It's like, well, why would I even try? Like, they're missing out, you know. They're being foolish, and or not foolish. It's just, you know, if they want someone else over me, I can't control that. It's happened with me. I've dated people and then I've moved on to someone else. It's like what they say, all's fair in love and war. It's tough. So it's not like, you know, and that's happened to me. I dated someone recently and they went for someone else, like, right when I was with them, and it stung. It surprisingly didn't hurt me as much as I thought it would. Um, but it was kind of just like, well, it's, I just, for the first time in my life, I took it like in a very grown up way. I was like, well, it's, I can't make someone, I can't force someone to love me. You know, I can't force someone to want me over someone else. And that also does not mean that I'm not desirable at all. You know what I mean? Because the guys that I pushed away, they were desirable people. I just didn't feel like we matched, you know. And that's definitely like a step in the right direction in terms of being like mindful about letting go. And then this Two of Pentacles reversed is usually, yeah, overthinking things. I don't think that. What? Sorry, love. What don't you? I said a bunch of stuff. I'm so sorry. What specifically do you don't? What don't you think? And you're, everyone's allowed to disagree with anything I say here. This is all discourse. I'm just interested. And if I'm not, if this isn't resonating, you got to let me know too as well. You know, I want to make sure we're on the same page here. But it's Two of Pentacles reversed. When I see this, this is like mental overwhelm. That you're good. That's right on. And I didn't get that vibe from you. I didn't get that vibe from you at all. And that's what's up. Is knowing your value, knowing that you are a catch. And I do believe it's for the best. Me too. When I look at the big picture, I'm like, you know what? Like, if that had gone on longer, there would have been so many mishaps and possible like really dangerous things. Actually, I'm thinking of one person in particular. Hi, if you're watching. But yeah, like I think being friends with them was just for the best. So how can I get past this or work through it? Yeah, let's get to that. So we have this Magician reversed and the Seven of Pentacles reversed. I see solution over here and I see explanation over here. So with this Magician reversed and this Seven of Pentacles reversed, this Magician reversed, when it comes to feelings of loss, is often indicative of making a change. Like time to like it's time for you to implement a new some new changes. And from what I'm sensing and what I'm feeling energetically, it feels, while we're not seeing a lot of swords here, it does feel very much within the realm of the mind. Mindfully thinking through this. You know what I mean? I hope I am expressing myself well, but being mindful with your thought processes, because we can get ahead of ourselves, you know. You're a Capricorn, so you're also very grounded. You're earthy and grounded. But I would wager that you have some air in your chart, don't you? Because I do feel some air energy from you. But then the Seven of Pentacles reversed. I want some clarity on this actually. Yeah, so the Seven of Pentacles reversed is very well, the Seven of Pentacles of right is frustration. It's progress, but it's slow progress. And when it's in its reverse form, it's like, and I'm looking at this Three of Wands too. There is a, and please correct me if I'm wrong. There, I am, at least in the cards, sensing a bit of impatience, like time is of the essence. Not so much like I need to find someone like immediately, or if I don't find someone now, I never will. But a feeling of like, you know, it's been, I think you told me you've been single for 3 years now. It's been 7 for me. I think it was 5 for Mahogany. And when we're in, but you're a selective woman. You know, this is what I've been talking about a lot for the past few weeks. I've been talking about it a lot with my ChatGPT girl. She said something really, really wise. She's like, you know, you're dating, but you're selective, and not everybody's super selective when they're dating. Some people do settle, and I low key feel like I settled a bit in my 20s. I like always had, I was like always in a relationship in my 20s, and looking back at the dudes I dated, I would not date them today, honey. Only one of them, and we're trying to date again. There's only one guy that I dated in my 20s that I would ever date again, and we just started dating again. But that's another story entirely. But I do, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I settled a bit in my 20s, and I'm just not willing to do that now. Now that I'm 40, I'm looking to get married. I'm certainly not going to settle for someone who I can't live with for the rest of my life, you know? So when you're dating and you're selective, it can feel lonely, and it can feel like it's taking a long time. Impatience, Seven of Pentacles reversed. Three of Wands is actually patience. You asked me, you know, how do I get through this? And I told you these 4 cards look like like cards of explanation how to get through this. You've always settled, yeah, and no more, yeah. I really think I did too. Like and I'm not gonna say I didn't love the people I did. I loved the dudes I dated. I did, but the standards I had were much lower. Like I dated one guy who never worked. He like never had a job. I could never hang with that now. Like, you kidding me? And he's still the same way. We're friends. And he actually reached out to me. Just a quick sidebar. He reached out to me recently on Instagram, and he was like, "I just got my first tarot deck, and I know that you read tarot. Can you like help me like learn tarot?" And I told him that I've developed a class, and it's a 3-month course, and it's $333, and it's super intensive. It's one-on-one, and I'm really proud of it. And he was like, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, I've got to like save up this, and I found I might be getting a job." I'm like, "Dude, this sounds like 10 years ago, like, bro, like," and I know, you know, not everybody has an extra $333 just to spend. I understand, but I also do payment plans too if someone wants to do it. But it's an intensive ass class, and it takes a lot of my energy and a lot of my time. And yeah, he was just really like avoidant about it. I'm like, "Bro, like, okay, so you wanted me to give you like free help on how to learn tarot? Like, we're not dating anymore. Like, it doesn't work that way." Like, anyway, so, and it just reminded me, I'm like, damn, like, he's still where he was 10 years ago. What was I doing dating that guy? And I left someone very special for him, and I regret doing that. That's another thing. Anyway, let's get into you. We have this 3 of Wands and this Page of Wands. 3 of Wands is the card of virtuous patience, just being patient, knowing that the right man will come to you. And the best things in life never come easily or quickly, at least not in my experience. And we can make a sex joke about that too, right? My goals have changed as well. Exactly. As we get older, our goals change. Our you know, what we want in general changes. I converted to Judaism over the past 10 years. So now that's very important to me, dating a Jewish man. It's not mandatory, but it's very important. It is important to me. I would prefer that. I've just changed and grown, and as we all do. And so, yeah, you have new goals, you have new ideals, and this is really beautiful. This 3 of Wands and this Page of Wands. I really like this. This is saying, Rhoda, go forth. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't know if you're actively dating or putting yourself out there. We all hate dating apps, you know. You are interested in a Jewish woman. Oh, is the girl at your gym, is she Jewish? This is going forth. This is saying go forth, this Page of Wands. And it says, and Page of Wands upright is a sign that you're on the right track. You're definitely on the right track. But with this 4 of Cups, the 4 of Cups, I mean, look at the art. A different one. Oh, very cool. Well, I wish you all the best with that, Austin. Look at the art on this card, babe. She's not looking down, but she's got her sunglasses on, and she's lamenting. She's lamenting these 3 empty cups. But if she were to look up, take off her sunglasses, and look to her right, she'd see that she still has a full cup. So it's the 4 of Cups is a reminder that everything is not terrible. And I know you don't think everything is terrible. I didn't put that correctly, but you've got more than you think. The things that you're lamenting or missing are not worth it when you still have this full cup. I'm not, but I'm open to someone who matches my energy. There you go. There you go. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I actually have like boxes now. You got to be smart, you got to be funny, you got to be ambitious. And then I have 2 alternative boxes. Hot. That's alternative. You don't have to be sexy. And Jewish. So those are optional. Cuz not everyone's born sexy. Not everyone's born Jewish. But I want someone smart, someone who can make me laugh, and someone who has ambition and dreams. And they may not be the richest guy in the world, but they've got their eye on the prize. You know what I mean? That's really what they've got dreams. They've got even if it's like an artistic dream, like just and they pursue it. That's so hot to me. Now I actually have boxes. And I actually like wrote them down, and I figured them out like 2 years ago. I met a gentleman, a Capricorn. We're still very good friends. Sadly, he lives all the way in New York, and I'm in San Francisco, so it's not gonna work. But I often wonder if we lived closer together, if we would date, if he moved back here, if I moved out there. But anyway, less about me, more about you. But yeah, I now have boxes, and I'm sure you do too, or maybe you don't, but it's good to have. It's good to have. But yeah, this 4 of Cups, and then we have this Empress reversed. I want some clarity on this. This one's a little confusing for me. I just want just a tidbit of clarity. I always get confused when I see her reversed. Okay, interesting. I'm glad I pulled out my book. I wrote a list of absolutes. I like that. That's great. Absolutes. I love that. That's awesome. So I'm glad I pulled out my little black book here, because sometimes I just get these. Well, I'm constantly learning, even though I've been reading for like 30 years. So old. But I'm constantly learning. I think that tarot is something, and most things in this world, I think you continually learn. Language, musical instruments, whatever it is, you never stop learning. So something interesting that I just gathered with the Empress reversed here. Needing to work towards removing the influence of others on your life and building confidence in your own actions. That's the vibe. I totally feel that energy with this card. Because because normally when I see the Empress reversed, I think, oh damn, like someone's not in their divine feminine energies, but you are. I feel it. You're definitely in tune and in touch with your divine feminine right now. But you sound very similar to me. I place a lot of importance on other people and how they affect me. Yeah. When I said that, I was like, whoa, like, is that me? Like that actually resonated with me right now. Yeah, that it's important for us to build our own, to not rely on others for. I don't want to say happiness, because we need other people, we need friends, we need company. But I even remember my mom telling me when I was like 13, and I got into a breakup with one of my best friends, or we got into a huge fight, and I got so depressed. And my mom told me, she's like, you can't place your happiness so much on other people. And at 14, I was like, but it's true. While we do need friends, and yes, validation, that's the word, absolutely. While we do need companionship and validation, we also, it's so powerful and so important to have that individual validation within oneself, to not place the energy of others so highly in one's like mental sphere of influence. Yeah, reading that line really resonated with me too. I think I do that as well. I think a lot of us do, especially empaths. You know, you're definitely an empath, and I think it's hard not to. You know, but it's also totally possible to alter one's way of thinking. I loved reading for you, Rhoda. This was a wonderful reading because I'll be honest. Sometimes I do readings for people, and I'm like, whoa, that actually resonated with me. But it doesn't happen that often. That tonight, this reading, I feel like I learned a lot about myself with this reading too. I really hope this helped you. Yeah, I think that's very insightful. The power of mindfulness in one's sphere of influence, very important, and patience too when we're selective. You're so welcome, Rhoda. You are very welcome. Much love and light to you. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, and you're on the right path. That Page of Wands is always a symbol. When I see the Page of Wands or the Fool, you're on the right path. That's Spirit saying that you're definitely on the right path. There's some alterations, of course, that you want to make, and they're not difficult to transition that into that way of thinking. You need to start meditation again. You know, girl, I was thinking, I used to do TM. I don't know if you're familiar with transcendental meditation, but I got into that, and I was really into it. And it's very disciplined. You have to do it. It's 20 minutes 2 times a day, and it's like right first thing in the morning before you eat, and then like before you eat in the evening. It's very disciplined, but there's so many different types of meditation. And it didn't really. Sometimes it worked for me, and sometimes it didn't. Sometimes it actually kind of overwhelmed me. Oh, okay. I don't know if you're familiar with with David Lynch, the director. He did Twin Peaks and like Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive. He's my favorite director. Passed away last year in the fires in LA. Rest in peace, David Lynch. But he kind of got me into. He didn't kind of get me into it. He got me into it. He was a huge follower. He started the David Lynch Foundation, which is all about teaching this practice to inner city schools. They started actually here in San Francisco with troubled. There was a school with like a bunch of troubled youth, and they would meditate twice a day. And it was a boys' school, and no, it's a good story, girl. Like these kids, they all ended up like the graduation rate like soared, like the dropout rate lowered. Like it really actually made it a positive impact on these young men, and so now the David Lynch Foundation does the same like all over the country. They do free teachings in inner city schools, and I hope outer city schools too, because there's a lot of problems also, you know, outside of major cities, as we know. It does. It really does, and especially if you're, you know, if you're in a chaotic environment, which you know, of course, these kids I'm sure were. A lot of them didn't even have parents and stuff, so or they did, but their parents. It was just a chaotic life, you know. When you get those like 20 to 40 minutes of peace, or however long you need, it really does make an impact, you know. And yeah, there's so many different types of meditation. I tried a new type of meditation with my Kabbalah group last Thursday, and it was just 5 minutes, and we just close our eyes and we look just above the like our what is it, our like horizon line visually, and close your eyes and just meditate silently for 5 minutes. The thing with TM is they give you a mantra, and you're not supposed to tell. It's kind of gatekeepy. That was the reason why I kind of stopped. Like they were like, you cannot repeat your mantra to anyone. It's a special word that we give you, And when you meditate, you repeat that word over and over, and it's in Hindi. And I mean, this all comes from Indian, the Maharashi, the what was his name? The Maharashi, the one that the Beatles followed, the Maharaja. He started this whole stuff in the '60s, but it's ancient Indian like wisdom. But they give you a Hindi word, and you're not supposed to say it to anyone. And I weirdly still don't say it. I've whispered it to a couple people, but I don't know. It's weird. But you're supposed to just repeat it in your mind. And you don't need to go to their classes. You don't need to pay $200 for a class to get a word. Honestly, you could learn TM just by reading, like creating your own word and placing it in like in power and keeping it silent to yourself. You can even make up a word, and just repeat it. Or look up what, the word peace means in another language, or love, or, you know what I mean? That's the part of TM where I'm like, dude, I really paid that much for a class just to be told a word and, like, sit in silence with people for a week. Like, so that was the only thing. But at least the money is going to good places. It's going to people who need it. But that's what I can tell you about TM. Is it's very simple. It's very simple, but it is disciplined. It takes a lot of discipline. But yeah, look into it. I love recommending meditation to people. It never hurts. Although my Capricorn guy, the one I mentioned, the one that I had a crush on, he couldn't do meditation. He it gives him horrible anxiety. He dances. He does not ecstatic dance. It's called 7 Rhythms. I don't know if you've heard of that. He's had to stop because he has plantar fasciitis, and he's been going through like surgeries for his feet. Poor guy. They make you dance only with your shoes off. Dude needs his shoes, but it really helped him. And he had a community of people, and he can't do it anymore because of his feet, sadly. But that's another type of meditation, and I really like that. He's like sitting still, just like made me much more anxious, made my ADD worse. When I'm dancing, just free dancing, I'm like set free, But he invited me, because I went to visit him in New York, and he invited me to his class, but I didn't want to see him dance. But I didn't want to get the ick, because the way they dance is just like, you just dance like you're not trying to look cool. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like moving around, and I don't know how hot that would look. That is so shallow of me, but I'm keeping it real. But poor guy. I need to reach out to him and see how he's doing. He's a sweetie pie. But yeah, I like that too. Like, you don't have to be, like, meditation comes in many different forms. Thank you so much, Rhoda. What did I do with my bloody phone? Oh, here it is. And thank you for your patience earlier with that snafu. Sorry about that. It happens, and it's only ladies in here tonight, so we can talk about that stuff. And you know what? The guys can hear it too, whatever. I hope I didn't ruin my pants. You're so welcome, sweetheart. You're very welcome, and I really hope that helped, and it actually helped me. It really did, and yeah, it's a good implementation mentally. For sure, absolutely, it happens. Thank you, love. Yeah, you have a wonderful rest of your night, and have a great week too. I just got a reminder that I've got to leave at 7 tomorrow morning to get to my work. It's a 2-hour drive. It's a long day tomorrow. Oh well. We push through. Good. Yeah, me too. That was a really insightful reading. So I'm going to do, let's see. Oh, let me put that away. How many people we got watching here? So I can do I'm happy to do a last call if anyone's watching and has any questions. So I'll do a last call for donations tonight. Oof, same. I have a conference to go to at 8. Oh, good luck. Good luck. You have to be there at 8. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a long drive for me tomorrow. I'm like, oh, 2 hours, damn. I need to set up my podcasts to listen to and stuff. Last call tonight, everybody. Gosh, my lips are so chapped. I'm not gonna pick them on camera. Last call, everybody. If you have a question, please let me know. How long have I been on tonight? I've been blah-blahing a lot tonight. I guess I needed to get a lot out of my system. And yeah, I know Mahogany's, I don't think Mahogany's watching anymore, but thank you, Mahogany, for listening to me. Thank you, Miss Rhoda, for listening to me. Y'all are sweet. Last call, everybody, for donations. Thank you. Just send in your donation if you have a question, or just post it in the chat. Thank you. These are so good, these sodas. These poppy sodas. They're my new coconut water. They stopped selling my coconut water, the brand that I like, at Whole Foods. Now they only have, like, what is it, Vita Coco? I'm not a huge fan of Vita Coco. They had, like, their own brand, and it was so tasty. I'm not there anymore. Pink coconut water. Now that's what's up. Last call, everybody. Last call. Yeah, plan to leave for 7:48 tomorrow. Okay, it's just a 1 hour drive tomorrow. That's not too bad. I can for sure handle that. Got some tunes. Last call for donations tonight. Thank y'all very much. Ugh. Yeah, I feel very Nine of Swords. Got so much I need to take care of. Which is good, because that gets my mind off of other people. Last call, everybody. Last call, thank you. Whose birthdays are it? Oh. Last call, everybody. All donations tonight. Alright, looks like everyone is. I'm open to doing collaboration with other readers again. Yeah, dude, we should. We absolutely should. We did it in the past, and we should do it again, dude. I believe we used. Did we use StreamYard? Was I a guest on yours? Or. I forget how we did it technologically. If you remember, please remind me, because I was living with my friend John at the time, and he's like a tech wizard. So he was able to like set up like when I would do collabs with people. And now I have ChatGPT. She can help me figure that out. But yeah, I would love to do a collab with you, Austin, for sure. All right, it looks like everyone is happy and taken care of. Thank you all so much. It was a rather slow night, but it was a lovely night. I had really Miss Mahogany and Miss Rhoda. Thank you so much. You guys are stars. Much love and light to all of you, and I will